session for the inaugural address. What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th President of the United States of America.
Well, everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is January 3rd, 2022. It is Monday. We are now kicking off the new year official. And I want to start with this statement at the beginning of 2022. Are you prepared? Well, you should be. It's kind of a question statement. Anyways, folks, you should be prepared. With everything they've told us they're going to do, everything they're doing, there is no doubt. Coming at you from Studio A, we're back to work. Today, well, for those of you who couldn't get the fuck around and find out Prepared Mind limited edition shirt, you can still get the, that's right, the vaccination and other t-shirts through our merchandising. Folks, wear it in public, wear it proud, and wear it loud. That's what I'm telling everyone. Thank you all for making that a successful t-shirt campaign. It's another form of free speech, free expression, political speech, political expression. And folks, it's also a medical expression. Snowflakes be damned, melt in the heat and in your own tears. It is the Prepared Mind channel, folks, where I tell you, get prepared. There is no time for screwing around. It is showtime in 2022. Support this channel. Thank you for everyone who is. Support your country. Thank you to patriots, veterans, everyone who is standing up for their rights. Notice, if you will, our nation is divided like never before. And it's going to remain so. It is. It's going to remain so, folks. Divided until it falls or until there is victory. Now, victory by one side or the other. And that's just it. How do I know who's going to win? Who, folks, who is most interested in winning? Who has the guts, the gumption? We know that the government, which is run by a bunch of leftist scumbag controlled by the globalists, they have the authority, presumed. They have the power, so they think. And they're pushing their control mechanisms until they break, because that's what tyrants do. I want to start with this. The Italians. I know that's not the United States of America, but we got a lot of Italian Americans here in America, and they are loud and proud when it comes to being patriots. Well, over in Italy, I want to start with Italy. Folks, it really is, the whole world is divided and pitted against each other. This is what Americans need to do, right? There's a mayor in Italy, right? He said there'll be no fireworks for New Year's Eve. So everybody lit up the sky. An epic fireworks storm on New Year's Eve, bringing in the new year. That shows me that there is a huge level of resistance to any government restrictions, bans, or authoritarianism. It is coming, folks. More is coming. More SHTF. More shit hitting the fan. That is just one little example. Now, the thing is we don't know, you and I, we don't know where or when exactly it's going to get hot. And by hot, you know I'm talking about Mad Max hot. It is coming, though. And the language people are using is becoming more incendiary, more fiery. A truck driver here was interviewed, and he was pissed off about the Biden regime and communist Democrats because of product shortages. This guy's a truck driver. He knows what's going on. He sees how it's being controlled. And this is what he had to say. Quote, "These filthy pigs have ruined everything." That pretty much lays it out there, describing these progressive, leftist, Democrat, socialist scumbags. Whether you're talking about the fascist in Washington or the communist in education and on the streets, they are all a bunch of filthy pigs, and they have ruined everything. They've ruined trucking. They've ruined energy. They've ruined the economy. They've ruined housing, except in a few very special, unique places in the country. Real estate is toast. Those special places, you want to know where they're at? Anywhere there's freedom. That's where people are moving to, folks. They're moving to freedom. So yeah, truck drivers, these filthy pigs have ruined everything. I don't think I could have said that any better with regard to that, but that is the language. That is how people are thinking. You know, and there is also a fight, folks. It's still happening in the court systems. You see, unlike the bureaucracy in Washington, D.C., there are other lifetime appointments in bureaucratic positions in the judiciary. That is, judges. Federal judges are appointed, and they sit regardless of who is president. Well, we just heard this weekend that the woman who is the head, the chairman of the FDIC, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, a government-run insurance corporation for banking, she quit and said there is a left-wing takeover. It's a hostile takeover of the FDIC. In other words, she was an appointed politician or an appointed bureaucrat. Guess what? Gone, toast. She resigns because she won't sit back and be silent over what the left wing is doing to this country. And if they're screwing with FDIC, which is just a minor, minimal, little insurance program that, well, it defends the little people. If you got over 200,000 in your bank account, the FDIC won't and can't help you. But us little people that have a couple $1,000s in the bank, we sure would like some kind of protection. Well, the left wing is grabbing that power and changing the rules. Why? Why are they screwing with something as inconsequential as that? Because they want power over everything, folks. They're dividing the country. They're making the rules and the control all of theirs. But the federal judge has halted the old mandate. I mean, this is how far the screwball leftists are going. They want it all, like I said. Head Start programs. That's for children, right? There's the school programs and the college programs that the federal government is involved with their funding and their loans. But down in Texas, folks, a federal judge has stopped mask and mandate for Head Start programs and said, Biden, you're done. So once again, you can see this is an us or them thing. They've completely divided the nation between those who believe in this vax crap and those who don't believe in the tax crap. Everything's a tax, everything's control, folks, and this show is all about satire. Now, some leftists don't like my sense of humor. Well, too fucking bad for them. But here we are. And I want to laugh at them and to their faces. I know where this is going. I know what the end is. And I will laugh at them, folks. They're a bunch of idiots. And they're going to suffer their own pain. Let me give you an example of someone who's suffering from their own pain, their own dementia. I'm not talking about Dementia Joe. Their own lunacy and idiocy. They drank the Kool-Aid so thoroughly. There isn't a cell in their body. This is a woman who is fully juicinated, who in her own home wears a mask and a face shield and locks herself in her bathroom out of fear of cerveza bug. And guess what she got? Somehow, even with all of that going on, self-quarantining, self-isolation, gets cerveza bug. See, that is how pervasive this can be. That is how sick people are getting. Sick in the head as a consequence of these political decisions made by people claiming to be experts. Unbelievable, right? And Dr. Robert Malone, who was dropping the big cerveza bombshells on the Joe Rogan experience, the Joe Rogan podcast, the Joe Rogan show, right? Who says that government, federal government, is lawless. That gives you an idea. And folks, we need other doctors to stand up. You know what? So what? You wasted 8 years. You took a chance, just like every other American. Took a chance with education. Took a chance with your professional career choice. You took a chance. You get no guarantees, doctor or not. Stand up for what's right, or don't stand at all. Doctors continuing to provide medical services in violation of the Nuremberg Code, knowing they're tricking people. That blood is on your hands. Nurses, though, who have less nurses, registered nurses, other medical professionals who don't have 8 years of higher education, who don't have as much money invested, who don't have as much of their life staked in being a doctor, right? They're coming out and talking about this more than doctors, and more doctors should, right? Dr. Robert Malone, inventor of mRNA technology, he won't be right going to work. He is going to be castigated. He is going to be hated and reviled by the political leftists, folks, not the medical community, the political leftists, right? What we have is a battle, not only of us little people, a division of us little people, but a division of those with intelligence and power, and they're going to fight it out as well. The fight is on already over information, communication. It's the psychological control of people. I see someone like Dr. Robert Malone says, think for yourself, be free. Other doctors are like, you can't think for yourself. You must trust us and listen to us and obey us. Will you be free, or will you be servant, servile? I tell you, folks, it's a nation divided. I am so pissed off over all of this. Starting off 2022, red hot under the collar, letting some frickin' steam out with you guys. It's coming. Are you prepared? Right? Here's what France is doing, right? We talked about the Netherlands, where you have to get the Jim Jones juice boost 6 times a year is what they're prescribing there, what they're saying they're going to try and do if they haven't already passed the rule. France is requiring United States citizens who show up, who are not fully juicinated, to quarantine themselves for 10 days. Let me tell you what, folks, that kills tourism. What does France live on? Tourism. Okay, F you, France. As far as I'm concerned, I've already said this to the rest of the world. Guess what? Fuck you. I'm not going anywhere anyways. We have one hell of a fight right here in the United States of America. But countries, nations like France are doing that to themselves. U.S. travelers, how about this? How about everyone else, France, who comes and they're unjuicinated? You bet they've already done that. But yeah, they're trying to convince the world, every country, come up with special, tighter, meaner, stricter rules and subjugate your people under the fear, right? Like this idiot who locked themselves in their bathroom, masked and face shield, and still got cerveza bug. How much you want to bet that she had some in her system and she ripped a big fart and breathed it in? I mean, for God's sake, trapped in a bathroom, how do you get it? Just unbelievable. Or was it a bad test that just showed that she's positive? Or did she get all the symptoms, right? This is crazy, folks. And it comes down to another big piece. This isn't just a medical thing. This isn't just a political thing. This is a war over the First Amendment. We thought it was going to start over the Second Amendment. That is the backup plan for failure of the First. If they destroy the First and you can't talk about anything, and look at how I have to speak. I have to pretend. I have to say, hey, look, it's all just in good humor. I can't talk about real things. I can only talk about humorous stuff and be satirical. They're squeezing the First Amendment. And Joe Rogan, who right now is the king of free speech, in anticipation of Twitter silencing him, he's gone over to Getter, Gettr, to replace Twitter because he's expecting to be fully censored. I'm waiting for Spotify to cut his contract. Except I know Spotify is making bank, big money off of Joe Rogan being there, and they don't want to kill that, folks. Spotify will go the way of anything shitty, any other crappy social media site if they lose Joe Rogan. They know it. They know it. There's no reason to go there if it's not to see Joe Rogan. I'm not putting down other YouTubers, other Spotifyers, other Gabbers, other bit shooters. That's not my point. I'm just saying Joe Rogan is that big. 10 times what CNN is, you bet. And Joe Rogan says that Twitter is, quote, getting even dumber, end quote. That's what this war is over, folks. Information, communications. It's about censorship, which is controlling thoughts. And if you can control the information someone can get, then they can't make a fully free and fully informed decision. In other words, it's a less than fully intelligent decision. It's a less than fully informed and prepared decision. Is that what you want for yourself? To start making decisions, right? Maybe there's a UFO invasion going on right now, but the media has a blackout. So you walk outside and you're like, what are all these UFOs about, right? I have no idea this was going on even, right? You can't make a decision about going outside and dealing with UFOs if you don't even know they're out there until it's too late and they're all over on top of you, shooting you with your ray guns. You know, and that's just an example, right? It's a stupid example, but it's illustrative of what they're doing. They're taking very powerful, very important information away from you. They're blinding you so you can't see. They're deafening you so you can't hear, as well as silencing you so you can't talk. And we're seeing it in the media. Joe Rogan, right? The world lost Rush Limbaugh, a very large mouth. Love that guy, but he had a big mouth and he could use it. Good for him and good for the world, good for freedom. Anything that promotes free speech is good for freedom. And right now, government, the medical community, the military, mainstream media, big social media, schools, jobs, you know, the professional world, corporations are trying to silence us all. Bullshit, I say. It is time to stand up. And people are getting fired left and right, like that truck driver. He comes out, says exactly what he thinks. I'm not saying he got fired, but people like him are getting fired. I speak up, folks. Well, I don't like you anymore, John. Well, fuck you then. I don't need you in my life anyways, right? You are getting dumber by the minute. I don't care what you think. These filthy pigs who have ruined everything, I don't care what they think of me. They're filthy pigs. Folks, more is coming. We have a nation divided. 2022 is here. It's a pandemic of the brainwashed. That's another quote. Thank you, Mr. Skylight, for that, right? We've got Dr. Peter McCullough on the reality of what's going on. If you're on Patreon, you're going to get some news articles to read this week about what is going on. It is a pandemic of the brainwashed. It is unbelievable, folks, what is happening, and we're not allowed to talk about it. I can't. All I get to do is come on here and make a few jokes, give you some general ideas about what's happening. I wish I could get nitty and gritty, and I'll do the very best I can. But you've got to get your information somewhere, folks. And it is on the Prepared Mind channel, especially at patreon.com. Oh, man. Take a breath. 2022 just started. Are you prepared? Chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Semper Fi to all. Folks, it's a nation divided. God bless. Godspeed. I'll be back for Q&A with you guys before you know it.